Hey guys, this is my top 10 best comic book movies. These are not the best comic book movies ever made. These are my top 10 favorite ones. These are all my opinion, so if you like them, that's fine. If you don't like them, that's fine too. So let's not waste time. Let's begin. Number 10, The Amazing Spider-Man. Okay, Spider-Man 3 sucked. I really hated Spider-Man 3. And I hated that movie is because Peter Parker was doing nothing but dancing when he was the black suited Spider-Man, looking all emo. And not enough action and too many villains. I'm glad they rebooted it. Yeah. Yeah, this is so much better than that piece of crap we've got. And Tobey Maguire was really horrible as Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield is so much better as Spider-Man. He did a better performance. Kirsten Dunst was horrible, and I'm glad they replaced her, and they also replaced Mary Jane with Gwen Stacy. And this film is very respectful to the comics, a lot more respectful than the other three films. Number 9, Thor. When I heard about this film, I didn't really know how this was going to turn out. I thought it would be bad, but really, I was wrong. I was very surprised by how good this film was. It was very respectful to the comics, and it's also part of the Marvel Studios. You know, Iron Man, Hulk, yeah, Avengers, yeah. Marvel Studios does good with respecting the source material. And this one came out a year before the Avengers. Avengers. This has good acting, good action. May not be as good as Iron Man, but it's still a decent flick. Number 8, Superman. This is the best Superman movie ever made. Superman 2 was pretty good. Didn't care for Superman 3, 4, and Superman Returns. This is the first this is one of the first DC comics films ever made. And this, even though it doesn't have enough action, it's still really good. I cannot wait for the Man of Steel to come out. While it may not be as good as this film, it still might be good. It's not. I know it's not going to be better than this movie. I know that for sure, but it's still going to be good. I really cannot wait for the reboot to come out. Number 7, Captain America. This one is a prequel to Iron Man. This one takes place in World War II, the same time when the Captain America comics came out. This one has good action, good acting, and it's just like the original Captain America comic books. And Chris Evans, who plays Captain America, also was the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four films. Number 6, Batman Returns. This one is a sequel to Tim Burton's Batman. This one is darker, more weirder, and more grittier than the first one. A lot. I heard there is a backlash against this film because it was too dark and violent for children, and parents protested against this movie, and McDonald's decided to shut down their Happy Meal toys. And this movie is the reason why Warner Brothers kicked Tim Burton out of making Batman Forever. Yeah. But it's still a really good film. I didn't find it too dark. as parents said. It's Tim Burton. He's always dark and weird and quirky. Number 5, Iron Man 2. I know a lot of people don't like this one as much. I liked it. I didn't find too many problems with this film. Still better than the third one that just came out. Yeah. This one had more action than the first one. This one had better action and but it's still not as good as the first one. Maybe it's because I didn't care for Justin Hammer as much. I didn't really care for him. Yeah. But what's still good. Maybe not as good as the first one. But it's still really good. Good. It's still a decent comic book film. Number 4, Batman. A lot of people were not happy when they heard that Michael Keaton was playing Batman. It's really because he's not much of an action star and he plays in comedies and they thought it was going to be too comical. But they were wrong. Michael Keaton did a good job as Batman. Maybe not a good Bruce Wayne, but a good Batman. And a lot of people were surprised by how dark it was. Jack Nicholson's Joker, I don't really care for him as the Joker. He was just too silly and goofy. But this is still a good Batman film. It's directed by Tim Burton, stars Michael Keaton. Yeah, it's got great cast, great action, it's dark and brooded. Yeah, it's really good. Number 3, Iron Man. A lot of people were not very excited when they heard this was going to come out. It's because Robert Downey Jr.'s career was so low and Jon Favreau wasn't a very accomplished director. But and they expected to see one of the worst comic book films of all time. But they were wrong. This is one of the best comic book films of all time. This was very respectful to the source material. Robert Downey Jr. did a good job as Iron Man. And they got the design right. And this is the first film in the Marvel Studios franchise. This one is the setup before the Avengers. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Number 2, The Avengers. When Disney bought Marvel, fans freaked out and they thought Disney was gonna ruin Marvel and make it more kid friendly. But it turned out that they were wrong. Disney has done a great job with Marvel. Yeah, this film was really good. This is the best film in the Marvel Studios franchise. It's got all those heroes in one movie, and it's good to see all those heroes together. And Loki, I didn't really care for Loki. He was just too silly looking and too goofy. Everything else was good. Great action, explosions, and it's nothing like a stupid Michael Bay film. This is a good comic book film. Yeah. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Number 1, The Dark Knight Trilogy. I know that this is 3 films, but this is one long film split into 3. Batman Begins is good. I'm glad they rebooted after Joe Schumacher ruined the Batman franchise. The Dark Knight was way better. It is the best film in the trilogy. It's because it has my favorite supervillain in it, the Joker. The Dark Knight Rises. It's not as good as the first 2, but it's still good. It's almost as good as Batman Begins. It doesn't have enough action, and there are too many plot twists, but it's still good. It's still a decent Batman film. It's a great ending to the trilogy. Yeah, these movies are dark and gritty, and they're both and they're very realistic, and they're not and they're being taken really seriously instead of and they're not campy or cheesy like Batman and Robin. Yeah, I'm glad they rebooted it. Thank gosh for Christopher Nolan. So that's it. That's my top 10 favorite comic book films. I might do a top 10 worst comic book film list later. I may do that, might not. You're just gonna have to find out. Hope you guys enjoyed this. See you next time. Bye.